According to the program, a neutral master of ceremonies has been selected to greet the audience. Now, though I don't have a Southern accent, I want to assure you that I am neutral. The participants this evening will be Jerry Moffat, H.A. Dobbs, and Darrell Conley. And for the Catholic Church, we will have Paul Rothermel, Edward B. Conley, and Benjamin F. Luther. They will constitute the panel that will answer questions from the audience that have been written and handed in during the first 2 nights of the debate. And each side will select the questions to be answered by the other side, and no oral questions will be permitted from the audience. I happen to be at a disadvantage in that I was not here during the first 2 nights. But according to the program here, I really don't have too much to do, so I'm not frightened. I assume that I was selected to be a neutral master of ceremonies, but I'd like to think that my selection had something to do with my predating, or the Jewish people's predating Catholicism and predating the Church of Christ. And therefore, I should have some wisdom in that we have the concept that the elders are supposed to be wise. I may have aged a little since I moved to Pottsville, but I still don't consider myself an elder. Some of the problems which you discussed during these first 2 nights, namely the true church, the one established by Jesus Christ, recognizes the Bible as its only authority in faith and practice, is nothing new. It's nothing new to the Jewish people as well. We had a problem, that is the Jewish people, in updating some of the concepts that appeared in the Bible. And in order to do this, they developed the idea of an oral tradition which was divinely inspired as well. And so we have the Talmud, which applies the rules and the regulations which existed in the Bible and bring them up to date. But there were problems. There were groups, the Sadducees, for example, who wanted literal interpretations of the Bible and didn't go along with the rabbinic traditions. So you see, this is the essence of the problem which you were discussing and debating here. I won't tell you who won out because I don't want to be prejudicial. And in modern times as well, that is in the Middle Ages, we had another sect that developed known as the Karaites. And the Karaites interpreted the Bible literally and would not accept the rabbinic traditions. For example, in that we're told in the Bible that you're not permitted to kindle fire on the Sabbath, their interpretation was that you had to sit in the dark. The rabbinic interpretation, which was not literal, was that you shouldn't kindle it on the Sabbath, but if it was lit before, you didn't have to sit in the dark. So there were many such conflicts. So the essence of these conflicts is whether we are to accept a literal interpretation of the Bible, or whether the interpretations of the rabbinic group, or in your case here, the interpretations of the church, are divinely inspired, and whether they have the right to interpret. This is the essence of the problem that exists between you, and without further ado, we will continue with the program.
Good evening. I'm Father Benjamin Luther, and I came late to the program, and I'm glad to be here. And I appreciate the sentiments of our moderator, and I'd like to note that out of the 6 men up here, 4 are Southerners. You got 3 Texans and 1 Kentuckian, so we got these Yankees over here outnumbered. Our first question from the Catholic side for our worthy opponents is directed to Darrell Connolly. Says, is it true your Church of Christ, it is true, is it true, is it true your Church of Christ is opposed to abortion? If it is, why doesn't your church condemn the birth control pill which causes early abortions?
The answer is yes, and we do. No, I'm not going to stop at that because I've got time. But yes, we do, because the Bible teaches implicitly that abortion is wrong. We do teach that it is wrong, and yes, the pill, the French pill that creates, in effect, an early abortion, aborts the baby before it even attaches itself to the wall of the womb, that is abortion. That is wrong. That is murder. In anybody's eyes that knows anything about Scripture, knows anything about the fact that life begins at the moment of conception, not after that. And so anytime you end that life after conception, that's wrong. And for instance, in the book of Proverbs, I believe chapter 6, among the things that God hates is the shedding of innocent blood. That is almost always done, of course, during an abortion, and it is the taking of an innocent life. What could be more innocent than an unborn child? Paul in Romans, the first chapter, talks about the fact that some would be without natural affection. The Greek word there is storge, if I'm not mistaken. And among other things, it means the affection of a parent for a child, child for a parent. What could be more unnatural than for a mother, with or without the father's permission, taking the life of the unborn child? That is without natural affection.